I'm here with Spencer Ward, and Spencer is an amazing serial entrepreneur with multiple companies now, multiple types of investments going on. So, I
Mhm.
really wanted you to share your story and tell everyone watching this where you were in the beginning of your career, and most importantly, what inspired you to create your business.
Sure. My business is in the janitorial industry right now. There's always money in things that people don't want to do. And yeah, we scrub toilets, we clean carpets, we shine floors, we do all the fun stuff. We're over here in Idaho, the potato state. And I own two of these janitorial companies in the state right now in two different parts of the state. We cover about six different cities and we have about, 80 employees. And I guess it all started when I was in college and I initially thought I was going to be managing hotels and resorts. And I had internships and I had all this stuff going on. I thought I had a shoe in for a good job. And during the time I graduated, it wasn't the best economy and the unemployment rate was a little higher than it had been. And so people that with experience were out of work and they were getting jobs over people that were coming out of work, out of school. They were bright eyed and bushy tailed, wanting to prove themselves like I was. So I couldn't find anything that could support my family and I. Even me being willing to literally live on beans and rice to just prove myself, and no one would really give me that chance. And I was in my in laws. They have a cabin up in this resort area and a part of right in the border of Utah and Idaho called Bear Lake. And I was looking around, I was finishing up college, thinking, man, what am I going to do? And at the same time, I've got this. We were thinking about starting a family, my wife and I, and I was looking around all these cabins, thinking, oh, I wonder who's cleaning these cabins? Because in high school, I used to detail cars and all that fun stuff. And then we started detailing and we started cleaning cabins and started doing all that stuff. And then I ended up working for all of the property management companies in the area. And then I ended up stumbling into and making friends with the manager of the World Mark by Wyndham resort in that area. And we did all the staffing and cleaning for that entire resort for that summer. And it turned into a bigger thing than I even expected it to be. And at the end of that summer, that town turns into a ghost town, and I didn't know really what to do. And I just realized, hey, it's probably better for me to get rid of these contracts and come into my hometown in Southeast Idaho and just focus on all commercial. And I had some bids out there, and by the time my last day of had come to service these last contracts in Bear Lake, I called that contract one of my larger contracts that I had bid out on my way home, thinking, okay, I have zero income now, and I was still working a little bit part time for my father, and was still thinking, oh, how am I going to support my family? How am I going to do this? And then the contract said, "Hey," and when I gave them a call, they said, "Hey, we just decided that we're going to go with you. We're going to award you the contract, and we're going to rock and roll." So that was the beginning of my journey, really. And ever since then, it was a good year and a half, and before I started really getting some good traction in that town. But after that, it was just one after another, just me at the grindstone, just knocking doors and doing all I could. And then we just had got a reputation of quality and good customer service. And then we grew and grew. And then we just built a good team around us and we found good people to coach us like I'm talking to right now.
Wow, look at that. So you tried to get a job, didn't find any, decided to take control over your situation, launched a business, saw an opportunity. And how long ago was that?
12 years ago.
12 years.
Almost, I guess almost 13 years,
Wow.
coming January.
Wow. So
So
13 years later, then
mhm.
you're here. And so how's your business now? Well, let's actually back up a little bit because I wanted to tell them the journey of this last year that was very
Yeah.
important to you. This last year was a big milestone for you for so many reasons. But where were you? at the end actually of 2023? What were you celebrating with your business?
End of 2023, we were just we were getting close to 7 digits a year in revenue, and but we weren't quite there yet. And so that we were happy with the growth that we received that year, though, and our profitability went through the roof because we made some critical changes that we needed to make in the management of our business. And yeah, that's where we ended the year.
End of 2023, you were close to $1 million, feeling happy with profitability. So, what was the tipping point that made you decide that something needs to change? Because you were successful based on your previous standards. Maybe people saw you as a successful business owner, but you still needed help. So, what was that tipping point moment?
We're our own worst enemies, and we don't know what we don't know. And sometimes we just need that tap on the head once in a while that says, "You got this." And obviously, there's more behind what you helped me with, but a lot of it was, "Hey, you open up your mind to this ability and this understanding and this avenue." And just me opening up my eyes, because as a business owners, we get pigeonholed into and tunnel visioned into only seeing what's ahead of us and what's bringing revenue right now and focusing on what's here and now. And we don't look a- anywhere outside the blinders. And I knew I was being blinded, and I had the blinders on so hard. And I needed some help to get the blinders off and to understand how I could bring in more profits, more income, and different streams of income into the company.
Being focused is very important, but that focus can also limit you because you are not really looking around you to see what else is going on. You also had a really big goal, which was to acquire a new company to grow
Yes. Yeah.
inorganically. And that was the complete unknown for you. At the end of 2023, imagining 2024, what did you want to get out of this business?
Yeah, we wanted to grow this to, from that point, we wanted to be on a run rate of close to 2 million a year, and then to acquire this other business and to continue to grow it and to continue to expand into the market. So that was our that was our goals
Yeah.
for the year, and to keep profitability where it was, because we all know top line revenue is a vanity number. It's nice to say it, and it's nice to tell your friends, "Oh yeah, I got this big of a business," but if there's no money coming at the very bottom number, yeah, that's not sexy at all.
Yes. So talking about the number at the very bottom,
Mhm.
how were you experiencing this business at the end of 2023? Did you feel that the business was working for you the way you wanted to? Was this business providing all the things that you needed from it?
From coming from 2022, I got kicked in the teeth. In 2023, it definitely picked up a lot, and it was a night and day difference. But at the same time, we talk about blinders. I was making good money, but being in a blue collar town and blue collar community, sometimes you don't really know your worth. And I wasn't paying myself my worth. And that's something that Mariana helped me understand. Like, hey, we were going over my numbers and stuff like this. And she's like, hey, things are looking good. Why are you only paying yourself X? Why aren't you paying yourself X, Y, and Z? And that alone was huge, because then I was able to really grow my personal net worth more. It's like, it's all fine and dandy if your company's doing well, but if you're not doing as well as you should be doing personally, then that's added stress that you shouldn't have as an owner. When but when you have that added stress taken off, because hey, you're doing better, you've got other investments going on, and you've got your money taken care of, then the small little oopses and the small little mistakes and lost clients here and there, and the things that happen in the business aren't so dramatic when they happen. And that's what I came to really realize.
Yes, yes. One of the first things that we saw together in the beginning of our process was that the business grew significantly, but your personal wealth didn't follow that growth.
Yeah.
And there were so many concerns about time, money, success that held you back. You were very
Hmm.
concerned about exposing maybe your wealth or letting people see that you were becoming wealthy because of where you're located. There is your upbringing, there's all of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think was the biggest, like the number one money belief that you had in the beginning of the year that was really holding you back?
Like I said, it's you have to believe that you're deserving of it. I think that sometimes you think, hey, I grew up and my family, my parents only made X or Y, and maybe my in-laws only make the X and Y, whatever it is. And now you're looking at the potential of making X, Y, and Z, and you're like, shoot, am I really worth making that much money? And and it sounds so crazy to say that out loud. And even to hear that, you might think I'm resonating with you, whoever's listening to this. But if you say that out loud, like I'm saying it, it sounds silly. But when you're actually thinking it and going through it in your own mind, it doesn't, because you're your own worst nightmare and your own worst enemy. So that was me, and realizing, hey, it's good to make money. I can really help other people more by making more money. And I've been able to do some really fun and cool things this year anonymously to help other people this year. That's given me a lot of just rewarding feelings. Like it's just given me a lot of good vibes that because I've been able to do those kind of things because I have the money to do those kind of things.
Yes, that's so wonderful. Realizing not only that you're worth it, that you can, and that it's not a bad thing to have lots of money,
No.
because there was a big concern about maybe how people would perceive you or how your family even would perceive you too. You're absolutely right. Like when you say those things out loud, it feels nonsense, but that's how
Yeah.
we feel in the body. That's what's operating behind the scenes when you feel so inadequate about money. And there was a really fun story when you were telling me about your dream car and being so concerned about people seeing you with your dream car. And at the end of the day, you actually purchased the car. Tell us a bit more about that. And also your trips and about how you
Okay.
decided to truly enjoy this past year and provide yourself and your family, your 4 kids, your amazing wife, awesome experiences. So,
Sure.
yeah, tell us all about that.
Okay. I've Everyone knows these new Ford Broncos that have come out, and I've ever since they come out, I'm like, wow, they're really cool looking vehicles. And I finally got down and I ordered one, and there's a year and a half wait. And the whole time, I don't even know if I'm going to do it when it comes, if it comes in or when it comes in, because I'm like, man, it's still quite a bit of money. And what are people going to think? What are my clients going to think if I drive around this fancy vehicle? And then I started thinking, like, what do they expect out of me? Do they want me to drive like a broken down Pinto? I started thinking, like, because I have an uncle who's a dentist, and his clients always come in, oh, I paid for your truck payment today, huh? And I'm like, I always thought that was funny because, wait a minute, would you rather have your dentist go graduate from the Walmart of dentistry and you go through 6 months of training so he can charge you discount pricing and you can wind up with half a tooth when you come out? What do you understand? I don't understand that. So I would much rather go to my dentist and have him drive something nice, knowing that he's doing well. He's got a good reputation. He's got a good practice because he's doing good work. Instead of seeing my dentist drive in a broken down Pinto Then I'm like, oh, I'm questioning, am I going to come out alive? He's going to turn down the nitrous at all? Am I going to die?
Yes.
So the same kind of thoughts came into my mind. I'm like, okay, it's not a Ferrari. It's not a Lamborghini. Yeah, those two would probably stand out a little bit more in my town, and that probably wouldn't be the best thing, but it's a Bronco. It's a Ford Bronco. And I'm like, you know what, whatever. And one of my clients was the Ford dealership. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy it. It was my first brand new vehicle. And I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. And I've loved it. And I haven't looked back. And no one has said anything to me about it. And on top of that, this year is the year that number one, I've grown my net worth more than I ever have this year. And then we just got back from our third trip this year. We went to Hawaii in January for a week. And then in March, I brought my family on a Mexican cruise for spring break for over a week. And obviously I went to Orlando for a business trip. It was more for business purposes, but we still had some fun there. I went for a couple extra days, went to Daytona Beach and had some fun. And then we just got back from Turks and Caicos for my wife's birthday. And I got back thinking, man, we've traveled a lot this year. And we literally just went through our books, our personal finances last night with my wife. And how nice was it to be able to just say, okay, here's the credit card statement. This is what we spent on our credit card because we put everything on our credit card every month. And just being able to just transfer the money and then pay it off. Like, it was super nice. And we're not increasing our spending. We're not turning into these crazy moguls that are just throwing money everywhere. But it's nice to be at that point. You can afford to do this kind of stuff and not feel like you're pinching pennies everywhere. So that's been a huge tipping point for us this year. And we're actually right now with some other friends, because I'm turning 40 next year. We're planning another big trip for my 40th birthday with another one of my buddies. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm not thinking anything about it. I'm going to do it when I want to do it, knowing that my team's going to be able to handle things alone. And yeah, that's been fun.
Yes, it's been fun. Now it's fun. I think you added that fun. You decided
Yeah.
to make this business work for you. That was the
Yeah.
first thing we did, right? Just to make sure that this business was providing what you needed. Then you added fun. You sprinkled fun throughout the year. Lots of traveling, lots of fun time with your family. I spoke with you from so many different locations. You could be at the airport or the cabin or in Turks and Caicos
Yeah.
or Hawaii or Orlando. Like, you could be in so many different locations. And you also discovered something. I think this is a big breakthrough to share with people. That is how your business behaved when you were away. So tell us some of the experiences you had while, for example, you were in Turks and Caicos or in Hawaii as well. What happened when you stepped away? How did you behave? Like, how did you manage the business when you were away, and how did the team and the business step up?
Yeah. A lot of times people think, oh man, things are gonna be bad when I step away. And this year's been it's still been a kind of a difficult transition year because the business we bought was a smaller business. So we had to put a lot of our systems in and do a lot of things. It hasn't been easy by any means, but we were able to get our systems put into place and get things rolling. But there was a couple of times I'm like, it's not probably the best time for me to step away, but I'm going to do it. Like when we went on a Mexican cruise, it was literally a week and a half after we closed on our first business. And we were supposed to close on it a couple months earlier, but my business partner, got staph infection. So it delayed the closing. So we did that. And within what, that I guess not within, but we did the trip and nothing went wrong. I had my phone on me and stuff like that. Everything was running fine. And then I came home, handled a couple things, went on my next trip, things came back, and I'm like, okay, cool. We actually got another client when I was gone. Same thing with the following trip. Oh, we started a new client. Cool. Okay, cool. So your team, if you have good systems in place, and if you hire people with your same values and that kind of stuff, you can let them just make the decisions because they know how to make them. They know how to, they know how to run things, and that's been nice because it just runs without you.
That was a big lesson as well to be able to step away and let the team show up. So you also made a commitment to yourself not to be checking your phone all the time, not to be
Hmm.
checking your emails all the time, and you could have fun. You didn't feel guilty stepping away. And even when time it didn't look perfect, you did it
Yeah.
anyway, right? So I think that was such a huge shift. Knowing you for a long time now and seeing where things are and seeing how the business shifted, it upgraded. It's interesting that revenue goals weren't 100% hit. However, everything else, like how the profit worked, how you paid off your debt, how you doubled your net worth, how you traveled, like all those
Yeah.
things are foundations again for you to continue to grow. It was so cool to see that. And what would you say, what was your relationship with time, money, and success before this process that you went through, and how did that evolve throughout your transformation?
Money and success. Yeah, that's the thing. I always equated that I had to be busting my butt day in and day out to be able to get any money. Because if you believe and see all these social media gurus on the internet, it's okay. Hey, forsake your family, forsake your friends, forsake everything for X amount of years, and you're going to be a success. And I'm like, I can't do that because my level, how I measure success is my kids are wanting to love me and hang out with me later as they leave my home. So that was a non-negotiable for me. Like I can't just disregard them or my wife. Like I want my wife to be around, and I need that relationship because there needs to be some balance. And when I- and there's a lot of people out there too that say, "Hey, you need to have good proper balance." And it's true. You need to balance as best as you can, but it's never going to be a perfect 50-50 balance all the time. There's going to be times it's going to be you're going to need 80% towards your business sometimes, and then 20% towards your family. And then other times it's going to be 90% towards your family and 10% towards your business. And I've learned that as I've stepped away and focus on the higher level things in my business and not staying in this office all day long, because I used to stay in this office just finding things to do to keep myself busy and trying to make things perfect and make every system perfect. And I thought that would equate to every money. No, that didn't. It would just drive me myself insane. But once I realized, hey, I need to leave earlier and go enjoy an extra couple hours with my sons or my daughters, or maybe go golf with a friend. How much further I saw my company go because my mindset was growing stronger and I saw my company developing and growing. And I'm thinking, wow, I don't have to be there for every second of it for it to grow and develop. It's out of its infancy stage. It's doing well. I just have to trust the processes and step back a little bit. And yeah, there's times you have to step in, but that's what I've learned a lot about the time aspect of it. And then, yeah, money, obviously, it doesn't equate just to time. It's where your value's at. Where are you adding value? And if you're stressed out and you think you just got to burn the midnight oil, you're that's not where the money's at. But if you're feeling sometimes I've been able to put some huge deals together and make the most effect to my bottom line and personal net worth by hanging out with family and friends and meeting people in fun circumstances instead of just grinding and oh, I got to meet this person, I got to be in front of this person, I got to do this. Just relaxing and just taking a step back and then just enjoying your life. and letting things happen. Yeah, just spend time and on things of value, and it's not within your four walls of your office. Whenever, everyone was always saying, "Oh yeah, you own your business. It's, oh, you have this many employees, or you have this many cities, or whatever," and they just think I'm a success. I'm like, and I never thought I'm not. I'm like, I'm not a success. I'm not successful. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not this. And I'm just like, I'm just a business owner. And whatever you are, oh, I'm just a plumber. I'm just this. But you got to give yourself some credit. You are a business owner, even if you are a tradesman or whatever it is. You're a business owner first, and then you have your trade. And it's tough to keep a business running. Most companies fail within the first 3 years, and then after that, if you make it past 5 years, it's better odds. And then after 10 years, it's better odds that it stays running longer than that. That's it's been nice for me knowing that I'm past 10 years. That's one part of success. Okay, great. But then now success for me is, hey, I can take off early, and I can have fun with my friends and my family certain days, and knowing that, hey, I'm still gonna make money. I'm still gonna enjoy my life. I don't have to be grinding it out every second of the day to be able to have money come in. So that's my level of success now, is that I know that I can still make money without me working like a dog. Like, I can be in Hawaii or Turks and Caicos and I'm still making money. That's success to me.
So that was the massive transformation. That was the lesson you really needed to learn to be able to upgrade to the next level. Because you can
Being,
reach a certain level of success by working hard, grinding, and then you're going to hit the ceiling and you don't know what's going on. And then you try to put systems in place or even bring in a team. But the problem with that is your belief system about time, money, and success. Imagine your team now grinding all the time as well, believing that they have to work so hard. If that's what it is,
yeah.
they're not going to be smart or they're not going to use the systems. Somehow we come up with challenges that are completely unnecessary just because we have that feeling or that belief that things need to be hard for you to feel successful or even for you to make money.
Mhm.
And what happened a lot during this year that we worked together was the simplification of so many things, right? And even how you work with the team and putting the right team or the right people in the right place, making sure you also improved the systems, like how you manage your team and who are the people actually that work with you directly, adding travel, adding your upgrades, your lifestyle upgrades, owning the car, getting it, making sure that you're having fun with it. And now you can grow because now your
Mhm.
growth and your wealth don't depend on your time anymore. Now you
Yeah.
broke the ceiling. Tell everybody here what are your plans for the next year. What is now possible for you from that space?
Yeah. Because I know I'm not needed in my company, our plans are we have our sights set on right now a company that's doing over 4 million in revenue, and the EBITDA numbers great as well. But that's our next sites for acquisition, and that's what we're focusing on, is acquiring another business, and we're building a holding company that's full of B2B service businesses, and we're just going to continue to build this holding company that services similar customers, and then we can start doing cross marketing to each other and having this little ecosystem of service businesses that services the same customers, and obviously continue to build our wealth as we do that.
Yes, now you can do all of those things because you understood that success is not about your time. Oh, it's not. So now you can go from having a $2 million business to having a group that makes $10 million now because it's not tied to your time. So
Yeah.
time is not limiting anymore, just like your wealth. So this is super fun. Is there any new personal win? You're celebrating your 40th birthday soon. I'm pretty sure you're gonna reward yourself really well.
It's we'll have somewhere fun to go. I got to get back in my health journey again, because I got to learn to stay healthy as I acquire other businesses and not not eat the junk food and stuff. Yeah, I got a little too stressed when I bought the first one, but I won't do that anymore going forward. So other than that, I will enjoy myself.
Nice. I love that. Before we go, what would you say to someone who is noticing that there are limitations to their growth? They don't know necessarily what's going on like you did, right? You were in the space of I don't know what I don't know. But there's something going on. What would you tell this person, this business owner, now so that they can feel inspired by your story?
You can do it. You don't have to be an Elon Musk or a Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos to be successful and to make more money than you ever thought you could make. Um, I'm making more than I really honestly thought I was going to make in my life, and it feels awesome. But and I'm definitely not the smartest person in the room. It's just about working hard, setting up your systems, having a mindset, and then having someone like Mariana to help guide you. Because that's the thing. What I just said, the mindset, the working hard. You can be someone that works hard. I had the work ethic. I had the work ethic from the very beginning. I knew I could work my fingers to the bone, and I had no problem doing that.
Mhm.
But too many of us just do that, and they get set in their own ways, and then those type of people are a dime a dozen, and they're making a cool 60,000 a year for their whole lives, and that easily could have been me the rest of my life, but because I met Mariana and she helped me and guided me and opened up my eyes and took the blinders off to different revenue streams and helped me set up systems and helped me understand even the graphics on who to hire and how to hire different people to strategize for my different teams. And there's so much that she helped me with, and that was been key for us and our success. And I know I'll continue to be successful because of those foundations I built with Mariana.
Yes, this past year was truly foundational. I think it was like a new foundation that was created. Imagine now you're building a castle. The foundation you had for your house wasn't enough. So you did go deeper, you built the foundations, and I cannot wait to see what you're going to be celebrating with me 1 year from now. I hope everybody listening to this is feeling inspired, is feeling like you can do it, it's feeling like the sky is the limit for you too. But here's the thing, like you're gonna have blind spots. You don't know what you don't know. There are things that you believe are the right things to do, and they may not be the best path. How many times I told you, Spencer, to not do something instead of just telling you to do because I know you could do them, but
Yeah.
it would hurt you more than help. And we've
Yep.
got to have that distinction. If you're playing the game by yourself, you seriously don't know what's going on and how you've been running all of your systems, your internal and external systems. But it is truly with the help of someone else that you can do that. And yes, thank you so much, Spencer. This was awesome. I
No
appreciate
problem.
you so much.
Thank you.